You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I look right here, right?
Yeah. Okay. Girl, I don't even know where I'll be looking. I think I was looking at myself.
Marriage and
Motherhood. Okay, yeah. So the intro is like, I say my part and then you say your part. So my part is, hello everybody. Hey, hi, how you doing? I'm your host, Kennedy Bedell, and this is the Art of. And then right after I say that, you say,
and I'm your guest.
What's your last name?
Crystal Landry. And this is the Art of Marriage and Motherhood.
So, welcome to the Art of.
Yes, I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you, and I'm happy to talk about this subject. I love kids. So this is like a big thing to me. But we just gonna get into it, and I want to ask you. You got to take us through the story of how you met your husband and stuff.
Okay. So I was going to Southern.
Okay.
And at the time, I want to say I was in my junior year, approaching my senior year. Or it might have been, I think it was my senior year.
Okay.
And my friend was hanging out with one of our mutual guy friends. And I think he had called for a ride. And the ride was my husband.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was his friend from junior high. I think they go back from like junior high to high school.
Okay.
And we were already really cool with him. I was at home. She was hanging out with them. And my husband was there because he was waiting for him to be done socializing. And he was giving him a ride or whatever.
Right.
But I guess from them just talking, she was just like, at the time, she was just like, well, I think I met your husband. That was her words.
Really?
Yeah, that was her words, actually. And
I love this already.
I was like, okay. She was like, well, you want me to give me a number? And I was like, I guess. Like, I was at a point where like I felt like I had dated and, you know, kind of been in situationships and stuff. And I was just like, you know, I'm gonna just chill because I'm not obviously doing something right.
Right.
So I was like over it, and I was like committed to just sitting and being to myself. Like, being okay in my own company.
Right.
And so it was like, it had got to like 6 to 8 months before like they introduced us.
Okay.
So I had been like kind of like
coasting
on my journey, like, you know, just kind of like, okay, getting familiar. And then she said that, and I was like, I guess, girl. Apparently, if he tells the story, I didn't really reach out. I didn't really like text him back and stuff. But it's most likely because I was just in my head about like just sticking to what I had already like dedicated myself to. And we had like a get together, and my friend at the time was like, I should invite them and we should all hang out. And so I did.
Okay.
And he came and got me and one of my other friends from campus, and we all went to my friend at the time's apartment, and we kind of like socialized, but he was not of many words. Like, I had to like when I was talking, I had to like pull conversation. He was just real chill, real laid back, which I liked, but for me being so open and social, I just kind of was like, like, I got so like mixed into the people who actually were socializing that at some point I forgot he was there, because we had some other people come. Our mutual guy friend that he's been knowing since junior high was there. Okay. And so we were always just socializing. And I know me and my friends left to go to get food. It was like, we was going to be right back. But we ended up staying longer, just like being silly, being girls. And when we got back, he was still there, but everybody else had left. That's how long we took.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot you were here. I'm so sorry. Like, yikes. And they was like, girl, you better sit, you better talk to that man. Like, he just stayed, you know. And we ended up talking. And this time, it was like nonstop. Like, the conversation went to like 5 that morning. Literally just sitting, like we sitting now, just talking. And I realized, I was like, man, I really enjoyed his company after he left. And I was like, okay, I'll start texting him more. I'll start talking to him more. And so that's how that relationship began. And we went on our first date, and the date was really nice. Like, it was like your basic day, like dinner, well, movie dinner, but he had planned everything. I thought we was just going to the movies, and I ended up meeting his mom that first day.
Really?
Yeah, well, via FaceTime.
Okay.
But she was just like, oh my God, you're so pretty. I love your hair. It was just like, it's a connection all around. But we just continue to get to know each other, and we've been locked in like ever since.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So that is so cute. And you talked about how, like, at first when the group of people were there, he was just kind of like chill and stuff. And then, but when it was the like y'all one-on-one, it was like nonstop talking. And I think that's really good, because it's like, it shows he's able to hold a conversation, but he's only holding a conversation with people who's not even saying the others weren't worth it, but just like,
no, he's very selective.
Yeah.
He is.
Which is probably good, especially for men. I think, just knowing who to speak about certain things with. Because if you're talking about 5 a.m., it ain't no, surface level conversation.
No, like, and I was just like, wow. It just made me look at him super different. And I also feel like I could see from those conversations, I could see why my friend at the time said what she said. Like, okay, like, it made more sense.
Right.
And yeah, so we've actually been together for 10 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
We met in 2016, and we have been married for 6 years.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you talked about how before you met him, you were just like kind of in this space of like, ooh, like you just kind of away from men, and just like, it seems like were you frustrated with how situations in the past had went?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, because this is where I am now.
I was.
And I need all the advice, because I'm just like, so, like, I can't give up on love. Like, I'm a lover girl through and through, so it'll never be like totally out of me. But I'm just so like over it.
Yeah, that's how it was.
And but it's also so frustrating, and I don't know how to get past that frustration.
I feel like it's a thing that comes with time, and I feel like what I learned too in that time was like loving myself and the things that I love, and doing it for me. That way, when someone comes along, they absolutely see.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So you said
during that time, I just feel like it was a big focus on like the things that I like, you know, and doing it for myself,
right?
Because I feel like I had a really weird way of looking at relationships too.
Okay. What do you mean?
I feel like it was like more of a fairy tale. Where
So okay.
where I do less of the work, and then magically this guy just comes and he's perfect. It was like that. And I feel like, that has a lot to do with like how you were raised. It's like what you saw. But that's what I thought. And then I had to realize like the difference between the ones who are actually serious, how you can tell when someone's actually serious, or like those who are just like really just trying to get in where they fit in.
Right.
And so for me, it took me a minute, but I learned.
Okay.
And yeah, like at that point I was like, I'm not getting it right. Like, so because one time I was talking to a guy, I think he was interested in me, but I wasn't interested in him. And he made me realize when I was like talking about the things that I had been through and what I've had experienced with some guys, that I was like really thinking it would work out. He was saying like, you have to look back at what's happening. I know like they were wrong, and in said conversation you're blaming them, but then you also have to take accountability because you're allowing it.
Yeah.
And when he spit it like that, I was like, oh, I am, because I don't have to accept any of this. I don't have to go through any of this, especially when I peep the BS, right?
Yeah.
So obviously I'm like, you know what? That's so true. And then that's when I dialed back and was like, I just need to focus on what's important to me. And right at that moment was finishing college and like securing a job.
Okay.
So I focused on that, and I also had to like lock in back on like, well, what do you like to do? Get my nails done, get my hair done, like, you know, like simple stuff, but stuff that I could just gear, like focusing on that. So I ended up getting a job and all types of stuff, and things were like working out in that, you know, part of my life, and I just put my focus on that side of it, and it kind of just came, if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
And then it wasn't even easy, obviously, in the beginning.
Okay.
It felt like we weren't supposed to be together.
You and your husband?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because we were so different. And we didn't, well, I won't say he didn't understand, because his parents have been together for over 27 years. So I think he is aware of, I feel like, had more perspective on what it takes to be in a committed relationship than I did. Like I said, I had this like fallacy of like, you know, fairy tale, how it's supposed to go. And I can honestly say, though, me being with him has grounded me a lot more.
Marriage would.
Yeah. And it has shown me that like relationships aren't black and white.
Yeah. And I understand a lot what you're saying, because I wanted to move away from my hometown just to get away from everything I've known and to try to like figure out myself, learn what I love, just like true independence. And so moving here, I focus on everything. I focus on like my relationship with God. I focus on doing things that I love, like which is like creating different things. I focus on, okay, who do I want to be as a person? Who do I want to be as a business owner? Like all these different avenues. And I've been doing that for the past year, and I think I have grown a lot. And I definitely think it's definitely worth it for whoever you like to really spend that time like alone. But when it comes to like two things, my success with my brand and then my romantic life, those are two things that constantly like frustrate me. Like I can't get like I feel like I've done the work with both of them. You know, I feel like I've worked on myself to the point where I do feel like I am ready to be in a relationship. And I also feel like, I mean, pretty much every day I work on this podcast, on this brand. And I just still, it's like, I'm still not getting to the points that I want. It's frustrating, you know what I mean? So that's why I was asking, like, you know, how did you kind of get past that, like, I guess, single journey, which, I mean, it hasn't all been bad, but it's good. It's been good, but it's also still frustrating. If that makes sense.
And then if I can speak to that, I will say, like, I can understand the frustration because I've been there, but then also being in a really long and committed relationship, I have points where I do think about, like, I should have actually embraced that time more. I should have took out more time with myself. You know, no shade to my husband or like the relationship, but
before him.
You like your life changes a lot when you
get married, right?
First of all, be in a committed relationship, and then you reach the point where, okay, now we're saying vows and we're getting married. So then that's a transition. And then if you do decide to have children, that's a whole nother transition.
Right.
And then you're no longer just Kennedy.
Right.
You know, you have like your mom and your wife. And so then you also are growing within yourself, like of who you actually are. And you get all these responsibilities and all these hats that you carry. So like thinking back on when it was just me by myself, like I should have spent a little bit more time with just me to kind of like take solo trips and do stuff like that, which is still very well possible.
Right.
But like when you don't have that other responsibility to be like, okay, like now I gotta come home and do all these other things. Whereas when I was, in that single part of my life, everything was like just looking out for me, just doing things for me. So enjoy it. I will say, I'll be telling some of my friends too that are, single and they want families and stuff, that this you never get back. And although it's a process and it's really frustrating, and you have really happy moments too, it's all experience. It's all like what you make it in the moment. So enjoy it, don't rush it. And then everything will come. And that's what I would say with us. Like, it just came, it felt natural, so it was easy for us to just do everything that we've done. Okay. Literally. It felt and we're those type of people though. It has to feel right.
Right. Definitely.
It can't feel rushed, it can't feel forced. So like everything has just worked out for us. However, we both have had moments where we're like, yeah, and even with just like us being single, it's like the realization when we're, us being together, but like no kids.
Not married? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
No,
okay.
no kids.
Just y'all two. Okay.
Yeah, we kind of like reflect on that too, as a couple. Like, us when we didn't have kids. So it's like, you'll always reflect back and you'll say like, oh, I could have given that more time,
Okay.
So, that's why I say embrace it now and just like take it. Cause when it comes in it like, if it's a good thing, it just kind of like takes off. Gotcha. Like fire, and it's the one thing after the next.
That's funny. And that's really good. That is probably the best practical advice I've heard so far about like being single and embracing it, because like a lot of people speak on it, but they speak on it from a point of like, they just say the generic answers. Yeah,
they say like,
love yourself. I do love myself. Like, stuff like that.
Or they say, be single, do your thing. Yeah. Like, what does that mean?
Like, I'm single and I'm doing my thing. But that has nothing to do, like, but that was practical, like really embracing. And I'm like, even you saying how you wish you just had a little bit more time before you met your husband to like truly pour into yourself. So hopefully, that just stays with me and I will continue to embrace it and truly enjoy it. I think part of it is like I said, my career, like if it was like where I wanted it at this point in my life, I think it would be a lot easier to embrace because it's like, now I can spend money how I want to. Like I don't have to like, not even penny pinch, but just, like I don't have to save and save and save. I can travel when I want to and where I want to, how I want to. I can spend money how I want to. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something to think about. But definitely gonna start embracing it as much as I can.
And be intentional. Romanticize every part of your life in this moment. And when I say romanticize, just like even if it's going to the grocery store, like, how you pre-plan and you make it like, I'm gonna specifically do this, because then you're trying new things. And then like I think of it as a way of being equipped for when you do find your person. You have all these qualities about self that is naturally just attractive to anyone else,
Yeah.
And it's just you. It's just you being you,
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good advice. Great advice. That was really good. Okay, so I want to speak to like, I want you to give advice to girls who have just constantly been hurt. Like what would you tell them to like kind of encourage them?
I would definitely say figure out what's important to you. So whether it's progression in a hobby, an interest, if you know that you are a lover girl and you value commitment and loyalty and things like that. Think about those things that's important and that matters to you. And when you realize that at some part of that you're not getting that back, it's not being reciprocated, cut it off. You don't need an explanation. You don't need
closure
or proof. If it's doing something to you, that minute you feel that one thing, like, believe it and go forth with that, because 9 times out of 10, the people that's not being reciprocated, it's so easy to reciprocate. You will find someone where it's not questionable, and you don't want to be at the point where it's been so insufficient for you that when you experience it, it's like you think it's a scam. Go with your good the first time, because there are people who will treat you and reciprocate whatever you're giving and whatever you're expecting. And what you want. And that's the advice I would give.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I'll also speak to that and say, recognize patterns. If you're constantly getting hurt, especially if you're getting hurt in the same way, you got to be able to pick up on those patterns before it actually gets to that point. And you spoke to like continuously allowing the same things.
Yeah.
Like at some point it does become a you problem.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yes, they hurt you, but then they hurt you again and again, and you kept allowing them to come back in your life, and you just gotta let that go.
Absolutely. Great advice. Yeah.
So we talked about kind of the marriage portion, which I'm sure we'll kind of weave back in and forth between, but let's talk about the babies. Your daughters are so cute. Like, they're precious.
Thank you.
What's their names?
Angel and Amore.
Okay, Angel's the oldest. Okay, so how'd you like come up with their names?
So Angel's, both of them, their grandmother is named, well, her real name is Charmaine.
Okay.
But everybody call her Angel.
Okay.
And so I had been thinking of a name, and I had already said I wanted something short and unique.
Okay.
And although I find that there are people named Angel, I had never ran into a lot of people named Angel as their real name.
Okay.
It's always been a nickname, and or after I named her Angel, I start seeing like more.
You know what's crazy? I don't think I know too many Black people with the name Angel.
No. I knew one Angel in my lifetime. Now I think about it, I went to school with her, and I think that was her actual real name. But other than that, I've not met anyone else besides my daughter. So
I love that.
But I got it from grandma, and Amore's name came from Angel's name. I wanted to stay with A's.
Okay.
But then I was like, I wanted it to be short. So I just started looking up stuff. And I was like, oh, Amore. And then I played off of her first name to give her whole name.
Okay.
Because it's a more melody.
Okay.
So like love song.
Aww. Yeah.
But Angel is Angel Mitchell, which Michelle is my middle name too.
Okay.
And my mom named me Michelle because her name is Michelle.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of came up with both of their names.
I like both of those. Amore, I was actually thinking about like a middle name for my daughter, because I just like I told you, I love in every sense.
Yeah.
Like whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic, like whatever. And I just
think that would be beautiful.
Yeah. And I was working at a camp, and I met a little girl. Her name was Amore, and I was like,
oh wow,
I love that.
It's such a cute name. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
it is. And show is like Nevaeh, with it being heaven spelled backwards.
Right.
I thought that was a cute name too, but I knew I didn't want to. I wanted to keep the A.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you want like do you want more kids or?
I do.
You do?
I want a boy.
Okay.
So I don't know if I should say I want more kids or if I should just say I want a boy. Okay. I want a son.
What's your max that you would go to?
Honestly, I only ever wanted like 1 or 2 children. I didn't want more than that. But like in attempt for a son, I would try to have a 3rd child. Well, I don't know if I would want to have a 4th or 5th.
Okay, got you.
I feel like I have room for one more to like see if I could get a boy. If I get a girl, I'm still gonna be happy.
Right.
But I really want a son.
Okay. Would your son be an A name too?
Actually, I don't think so.
Okay.
I was like fancying it.
Okay.
But I think his name would probably be different. Because I don't know how I could include
A into it.
Because I wouldn't want him to have anything like Anthony.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Or Aaron. Like it's just too common. Yeah.
No, I understand that. Even now I think about my children's names and I'm like, if it's too known, I don't want it.
Yeah, and I actually have a family member with the A name. His name is Ahmad.
Okay.
But I didn't know if I would want to use that. Okay. Me and my husband talked about a boy named Mello.
Okay.
But then he went back and was like that he would want to have a junior so that Mello could be his middle name.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So it's a conversation. You might be.
It's a conversation. However, like if you ask him, he gonna say he good.
Really?
Yes. But every now and then he would joke about like having a son.
Okay.
So I know it's a if he could. I feel like he feels like if he could for sure have a son, then we try again.
Okay.
But because it's so uncertain, I feel like it's a couple things. Career-wise that we'd want to secure first.
Okay. That's a good way to go about it.
Yeah.
So I want to go through like the motherhood process because that's so vast. Like, have you always wanted to be a mother?
I did. Okay. I will say I always felt as if that I genuinely wanted to have children.
Okay, good.
I think that if we were truly like serious about structuring when, we probably would have waited at least 2 years after we got married. But we didn't really at the time like think out anything. Okay. We just was vibing.
Right. You were married.
Yeah, we was enjoying being married. And so that's how they were here. So they're definitely love babies.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's still because you talked about how like you just wish you had a little bit more time with just y'all two. Yeah. So that's kind of what you're.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
We both have said that. Like, yeah, we should have traveled some more.
Yeah.
We don't regret it, but we definitely like just in reflection, like, yeah, we could have took at least a few more years to travel and just do some like my husband, he's just integrated into tech.
Okay.
So, but that's something that I feel like, you know, he probably would have discovered a little earlier too.
Okay.
And same with me. Like I did right out of school, I did rec therapy because that's what I have my degree in. Mm-hmm. But then I got into public health and being a wellness facilitator, being a yoga instructor, being a community wellness engagement specialist. And, you know, they're all one and the same because you're supporting community, but on the wellness side and holistically. Right. So I would have probably gotten more into that earlier as well, you know? But still in it. Yeah. Just, you know.
Just a little bit different now.
Yeah.
Okay. Your kids, what have they taught you since like, you know, becoming a mother and, you know, just learning about, I mean, just not just about motherhood, but just in life in general?
I feel like so far my kids have taught me how to have more perspective and have more understanding for people.
Okay.
And I say that because not that I'm like hard on other people because, you know, I don't know them. However, like I do think as we move throughout life, we have certain expectations for different people in and out of our lives, in passing, people we don't know. We just we naturally hold them to a certain standard and we don't even realize it. You expect when you go into Walmart that everybody should be shopping and acting
civilized.
Yes. You don't expect for somebody to steal that day, run out the stove, shoot up the, you have a level of expectation for everybody in your life, even if you don't know them.
Right.
So having them help me have a lot more grace, and a lot less expectation, for people to understand that, like, literally everyone's unique, everyone's different. Let them be who they are. Like,
okay.
So what? You a little unhinged, be who you are. If that's who you are and that's what you're walking in, be that, and be the best unhinged person that, like, if that's what if that's where you at, that's how I feel, because I feel like having my kids made me realize how different people are, and how different they grow to be.
Do you think you had high expectations kind of for everybody, not just your husband?
Yeah, that's why I say I feel like I lived in this fairy tale, but I feel like I was very sheltered. I grew up in a small town.
Okay.
My dad is incarcerated.
Okay.
He's been incarcerated for like most of my entire life.
Okay.
And so it's just me and my mom. So I mean, I didn't really get a chance to see like a full marriage.
Okay.
However, I did get to see examples of it because she was married.
Okay.
And I think besides movies and other things like that, being at home, being engulfed in that, and kind of just like being in my own world, never really doing or getting out and going and see, it made me feel like how it was supposed to be a certain way.
See, well, it's crazy you have that perception, because I grew up in a household with both my parents, loving marriage and stuff. And I still feel like I had that expectation for it to be like so beautiful and so bliss. And I know it will be, but like, I think it's just certain parts when it comes to like dealing with a person, I think I expected him to be almost perfect, kind of like you said.
Yeah.
And not realizing different people have different issues. And that, like, I'm learning that kind of like in real time now, that like, because everybody's so quick, I feel like, to say, oh, he did this, leave him. Like, and some, like, if you leave everybody for every mistake or issue they make, like, you're not going to be left with no one, because all of us are human and all of us make mistakes.
And we all have some stuff that we're dealing with.
Yes, that.
Like, So it's like giving grace and understanding. It's continuous in long relationships.
Yeah.
Forgiving.
Yeah.
It's continuous and long
relationships. Let's talk about it, because that's hard.
But that is what I definitely think my kids have given me a lot of perspective, because, like, I don't know, I guess I think about it from a sense of I want them to be who they truly are. I want them to walk authentically into themselves. And I see as they grow, they're doing that. Aww. And so, like, certain moments where I feel like when I was growing up was like, shh, or like, sit down, don't say that, I don't do that with them.
Okay, I love that.
Like, obviously they're not allowed to be disrespectful.
Right.
However, I also allow my daughters to have an opinion.
Good. I love that.
Yeah. If they feel like I did something wrong, they can say, that's not right, mommy. And I'm not going to be like, girl, who you talking to? I'm the mama. You need to go sit down. Like, you and grow. Like, no, she being valid. Yeah. Like, maybe I was wrong. Like, let me check myself. So I let them be themselves, because I feel like it also is going to equip them and prepare them for when they're in the real world, not around me, and they need to speak up and say that's not right.
And I love that, because I think about little stuff like that all the time. I want to make sure that my kids are very vocal about their wants, about the opinions that they have, they are able to express those and not feel bad about expressing them. Obviously being respectful, but like, you have a right to tell someone no. You have a right to tell someone how you feel, how something made you feel.
Yeah.
Even if it makes them feel bad, that's not your issue.
That's also equipping them for having good, healthy relationships. And like, when I realized that I didn't have that, because I didn't grow up having hard conversations, and then two, I was told to stay in a child's place, and if I'm speaking up about what I feel like my mom said that was wrong, or a family member that I feel like did something that wasn't right, it was like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, why are adults offended by that? Like,
yeah, they're like,
and I think, I guess it's
that's not your
kind of
place.
how they were raised. They didn't have,
it was. They didn't
like,
have
they
no
had
say so.
nothing less than us. So I guess it's kind of just our generation kind of unlearning those things.
Yeah, because I feel like it would equip me more to tell a guy like, oh no, indeed, like,
yeah, definitely,
instead of being like, more so like questioning if you deserve it or if you should stick around because they just did it this one time.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not. When I realized I could be like, oh no, I was just like, no,
right,
it's not happening. So it's equipping them for, I feel like it'd be equipping them for stuff like that too.
Definitely, 100%. I had a question. It just slipped my mind. Okay, so with that, with dealing with people, how do you know, like, when it's okay to forgive and stick by them, and then, like, forgive and I guess move on? Because, like we said, everybody has issues, everybody makes mistakes, people are gonna hurt you. Some are intentional, some are unintentional. Like, how do you know, how you decipher kind of between the two? When to leave and when to stay?
I would say it matters per person, only because what I feel is okay and acceptable, you may feel like is not.
Okay.
However, I feel like certain things are like priority, such as abuse, verbal disrespect, so physical and verbal abuse, stuff like that,
cheating,
you
can get like, like, cheating is a hard subject.
And so for some people, cheating is not a
non-negotiable.
It's not a deal breaker. So that's why I say, it depends on person, but I will say, like, wholeheartedly, the patterns that we talked about. Like, if it's something that's repetitive, that makes you feel uncomfortable, and you like verbalize that it's not something that you want to deal with, or like, then that should definitely be like a flag for you to say, okay, this is something I need to pay attention to,
right?
And decide. And I feel like some stuff you may over time decide to say, okay, I don't want to accept this. So it may be like to some people it might be like a realization. However, I feel like anything that's repetitive, anything that's like cheating, what else?
Just disrespect.
Like abuse.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I feel like definitely, because that's it's creating like an unsafe space for you and the other person, honestly. More for the victim than the actual abuser, but in a situation like cheating is bringing on both sides danger.
Yeah.
In today's time, I will say.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, definitely that's how repetition and just anything that's bringing you to a very unsafe place.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. So I want to ask you just a couple more questions. One, when people look at your marriage, what do you want them to think and what do you want them to say? Like, what do you want them to take from it?
I will say, like, we're so unique. I don't know if I'd want anyone in specific to learn from our way.
Okay.
because it's so unique and we had so many like things to learn along the way. I would say though, to anyone who wants to be in a marriage, in a committed relationship, it's just like motherhood. It's no lesson book. It's no guide.
Right.
So if you wanted to be successful, just be open to try, be open to forgive, be open to learn. And in the process, if you feel like that person is still worth being with, then stay with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I feel like wanting someone to see something from my relationship in specific would be that we're trying to show or
I get what you're saying.
Exemplament something, and we just kind of just be living life to the capacity of what we see fit.
Okay.
You know.
Well, what I take from it, just from hearing you talk, that, well, I'm not someone who doesn't believe in love, and I feel like there are people out there. So maybe something they could take is that, like, okay, this seems like it's real love, like it's true, like, you know, they can get a sense of like hope and encouragement about it.
I will say to that end of it, then yes, like not giving up on each other.
Yeah.
Like you both will have moments in your life where you're changing and you're not the same, and like having grace for each other to say like I can give them room enough to change and know that it doesn't affect how they feel toward me. It's just the point of their life, you know, that they're kind of like going through something.
Right.
Also on the other side of that, like giving grace and communicating. I would definitely want them to see that that's what rules the relationship for us.
Okay.
Just being able to openly communicate easy conversations and especially hard ones.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, like, we'll have friends who will say like certain things, and honestly, we tell them straight up like, oh, I was really us being open enough to communicate and be honest is the reason why I feel like we're still together. Because I know I briefly spoke on it earlier in our conversation, but at some point, like I didn't. It wasn't easy in the beginning of our relationship, so I didn't know if we were even going to stay together.
Right.
And I feel like we've had different moments, not a lot, but like at least two, where we've kind of like questioned where we were. And I feel like that has everything to do with like how long you're with the person and how much they change. Because you have to relearn, you know, as you go. So, and also understanding that once you grow out of certain fallacies and expectations, you start to be met with realism. And it's up to you to accept it or say, hey, like I'm still gonna move in what I feel like it's supposed to be, you know?
Okay.
But I know for me, it was definitely being realistic to say, like, for example, like when we first got together, I didn't realize that I was fussing a lot about different things. He wanted to, after work, like a long day at work, maybe he wanted to go home to his apartment and I want him to come over to mine, you know, and then I'm fussing like, well, why you want to go over there? You come over here, you can sleep over here, you know, like everything you go do over there, you can do over here, like, you know, and then realizing not only that, but like other little things, it adds up, you know, he working, he having like long days and doing hard labor, and the last thing he want to do is fuss about nagging, fuss about like where he about to go sleep, like, you know, he just want to go sleep, right? And then realizing later, like him being open and bold enough to be like, I think I asked him like, well, how do you feel about this? And he was just like, I don't know, you know, and to hear that, it was like heartbreaking for me and hurt my feelings. But at the same time, was like, well, let me actually hear him out, because I feel like a lot of times we feel like as women, we're supposed to be able to say like how we feel about something, but like never truly hear them out on
how they feel,
or
ask them.
Right. So I'm like, oh, well, at least he told me like he don't know. And so I'm like, well, why you don't know? And he's like, oh, well, you fuss a lot. And I'm like, I do? And I had to check myself like, dang. And then like, I think I was like actively about to get mad about something like after the conversation. And I was like, oh. And then I'm like, well, is this that big? I had to ask myself then. I was like, oh, no, it's not actually. So I'm like, well, maybe I do fuss a lot. And when I looked at that part of it, I was like, okay, well, at least he's being honest. Yeah. And I feel like after I kind of like tweaked that, then I didn't even have to ask him like what he thought. It like showed in him showing up, like he felt better because he wasn't being pressured or like, you know, having to be argumentative. It's also something that he dealt with in his past.
Oh, okay.
Of past relationships, so it was triggering. And so me learning that and not being one-sided to criticism, you know, like, oh, okay, well, because I will give you criticism all day, not in a bad way, but just we're not doing this.
Right.
Yeah, like strict program, like, no, we're not doing this. So to also be receptive to like when because like I said, he's an open person when he's familiar, but like there are some times where he it's not that he won't speak up, he'll just like sit on it a while and then he'll say it, and then you be like shocked because he ain't saying nothing the whole time, and you're like, okay, you know, I can see. But now that we're very familiar, it's like that's easy now.
Yeah.
It's like,
and I think like a healthy relationship will always like force you to be a better person. Like those little things that you don't recognize in yourself, like they will recognize in you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's very attentive in that sense too. Like I had to get my game up because I was like, dang, he noticed stuff about me that I didn't notice about myself that made me look to see like, you know, because I feel like it's like you said, it's real easy to
point the finger
and look into someone else to be like, okay, these are things they like, these are things they don't like, these are the things that they like unconsciously do, whether it's tapping their foot or touching their nose, you know. You get to like looking in, I would say in that way, he's very attentive to where I'd be like, dang, you know, he realized or noticed that, or if I'm like thinking something that I gotta get and I forgot it, he already got it. Like,
aww.
It's like that. It's enjoyable too because you start to peep that other person's love language.
Okay, yeah.
And they start to peep yours. So it starts to feel very, very reciprocal, like, and intentional. So
okay, nice. Now, I just want you to give like a little message to your babies. They probably won't understand like your love for them now.
Yeah.
I mean, or ever. Like, I don't know if a child will ever understand a mother's love, but I just want you like to tell them a little message, like for when they're able to understand.
Angel and Amor, I love you guys so much. Words could not ever express my love and my passion and my the joy that you guys bring me. I pray that you all grow to authentically walk in your personality and be all that you can be. The sky's the limit. You could do whatever it is you want to do. And know that mom and dad will always support you and will always be there for you. And just love you. Like, can't say it enough.
That's nice. I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
outside of my body, like I would do anything possible to make sure that y'all know how much y'all are loved and cared for.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Okay, last question.
Okay.
So recap kind of the whole episode. What is the art of marriage and motherhood?
The art of marriage and motherhood is figuring it out. The art of marriage and motherhood is understanding that it is not linear. Every day will not look the same, and it's okay because each day we get to wake up. You get to do something different. You get to make better decisions. You get to try new things and embrace a gift that you have that is literally priceless. Like, no matter how hard, no matter how difficult, it's priceless. And it is something that I feel like everybody should get a chance to experience, that type of love, that type of support, just all around. Yeah,
That's
I feel
good.
like that's the art. Yeah.
I love that. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna embrace where I am. I'm gonna take your advice, and you know, when the time comes for marriage and children, I'm gonna embrace that.
Yeah.
But for right now, I think I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, because it's a journey, and I feel like when you are taking the strides and you are aligning yourself across the board, you realize at some point, I'm built for this. Like, I prepared and I'm equipped for this. As long as you take literally, like, kind of like building a brick a day, you know, like taking it one day at a time. Like you said, literally enjoying the process and what comes with it. You'll realize, like, oh, like, yeah, I've been like prepared for this alignment.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this episode, y'all. You want to shout out like your Instagram or anything that you're doing?
I have a yoga retreat coming up. It is July the 4th and 5th. It's a wellness retreat. We will be doing yoga. We'll make like bouquets. My Instagram is I am Crystal Light. It's 1L. And Crystal Light Yoga is my other page.
And Crystal with a K.
Yes, Crystal with
love
a K.
K's over here. But that's it for this episode. I hope y'all, got something from it. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll talk to you next time. Bye.